and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it—
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the—
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its if we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
Well, we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then.
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose.
fuel?
Yes, the stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending. On their own, each item's power is limited. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their store?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of
Even when you put it that way.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still,
Try not to let it get... All right. You should head out.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice. I've witnessed their energy. I'm certain one day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the... So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, my rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember, otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here.
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what
Who will be the one to bring this to...
We are the inheritors of memory, and let those who grew alongside sun and wind, those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.